Welcome back to Cocktails and Confections. This week we are celebrating Valentine's Day. We are going to start off with a chocolate covered strawberry martini today, as well as some red velvet cupcakes. This isn't an original recipe for the red velvet cupcakes. I did find this online, so I'm not going to take credit on that, but it looks like a really delicious recipe. And, I'm just looking forward to doing some baking with you all. The chocolate covered strawberry recipe is my recipe, and I'm really excited to see how that comes out. I found a cute new glass at Target, which is perfect for the Valentine's Day season. So let's see how it comes out. I wanted to make a little bit of a ganache to help with the chocolate dipping of the glass and garnish. So let's just get started and see how it goes today. Okay, let's start off with some strawberry puree. We're going to use this for our martini. This could also be used for a filling in your cupcakes if you make it a little bit thicker with the strawberries as well. But we're going to make this an actual puree mixed with sugar, mixed with water, and we're going to mix that right into our martini shaker and strain it into our glass. So let's get started with both the puree and with a little bit of chocolate ganache that I'm actually going to make with some half and half because that's all that I have here today instead of heavy whipping cream. So let's get started on those. All right, I got a knife. This is probably a little bit aggressive for strawberries, but this is what we're using today. So I'm going to grab some that I think, well, first is I don't really want any with any white marks on them because I do want to utilize, again, this for color and sweetness, and I feel like the more red strawberries you have, the sweeter they are. It's going to add to the nice, beautiful color to your martinis. So let me just kind of sift through here and see what I want to do for strawberries. Okay. And I don't really want to do that one. Let's see. We're going to do this one. Okay. And let's just cut these up. Let's say into just relative chunks. When I do the puree in the blender, I'm actually not even going to do a measured pour. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of water, add a little bit of sugar, and test that out until I kind of like what I see. And I'm not doing a whole lot of strawberries, so we're actually not going to fill the cupcakes with these. This is just going to be for the martini. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add these to my blender. And I'm going to add my sugar first, which I have my sugar over here because I prepped all my stuff. And I think I'm going to start with maybe about a half of a cup. That might be a little bit aggressive, but I do want it nice and sweet because it's going to act as our simple to really help balance out this cocktail. And I don't want it too watery right off the bat, so I'm going to do a half a cup. Going to do a half a cup of water too. And as I blend this, I'll check on it. If I need to add more strawberry, if I need to add more water, more sugar, we'll just kind of play it by ear. All right, let's blend her up. All right, this is actually very watery. I think I added way too much water to this. It has a pretty decent consistency to it. It tastes really good. So what I think I'm going to do, we do have plenty of strawberries here. I am going to add a little bit more strawberry to it. And again, I do want to use some nice colors, so maybe I'll just use this. And honestly, I think that'll be fine. Again, this is really for color, for sweetener. We're not using this to create a structural form, obviously. It's a drink. It's not like we need that for a cupcake where it's going to hold up a little bit, maybe not seep through the cake. This is just for the drink, so I think this should suffice. I'm going to give this one more blend, and then we will see how it goes. All right, we did get some of this chocolate into the pan. I know it's not a lot, but we don't need a lot, and I hate to be wasteful. So let's go ahead and melt this down a bit. I will start whisking in a little bit of half and half to make a thinner texture on this. I hope it comes out good. I did just want to use this for the rim on on our martini, so I hope it does come out delicious. We could potentially use the rest of this on some of our cupcakes as well. So I do hope it comes out good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this, I'm gonna call it ganache, into my bowl here, into the plate, and I'm gonna use this as a beautiful, this does have still a little bit of a watery consistency, but that's okay. The rest of this we can save for later. Look at this adorable martini glass I got at Target. It is the cutest. I did put it in the freezer last night just so we can get a nice cold glass for our martini, nice and chilled. So let's get some ganache on this, put it back in the fridge, and we'll prep our cocktail. All right, I hope this ganache has come out good enough for this chocolate to be, you know. Originally I wanted something that was going to drip. All right, and I am going to put just a couple of sprinkles on here, not too many, just for aesthetic. And these actually match the glass perfectly. Okay, so our Boston shaker filled with ice. We're going to go ahead and start with 1.5 ounces of Stoli vanilla. This jigger is, it has 1 ounce and then 1/2 ounce on the other side. So I'm just going to do 1 1.5. Okay, I changed my mind. That martini glass is actually huge, so I think we should go up a bit. So I am going to add just another 1/2 ounce of Stoli vanilla. So we're going to bump up our recipe just a bit. And I will reflect this on the recipe card for you all. All right, we have 3/4 ounce of creme de coco light. There is also a creme de coco dark. For color purposes of the drink, I wanted a more pink drink to reflect Valentine's Day and the fun colors associated with Valentine's Day, so I did go for the light today. And then we're actually going to do another 2 ounces of our puree. This is fresh strawberry, and again, it's pretty much a simple syrup made of this puree, so we're going to do plenty of this today. 1. Oh God, actually, this smells delightful. Half and half, which we already have out from the ganache. And I'm just going to do, I'll show you guys. I'll measure this out for you. We're going to do a half. You're going to do a 1/2 ounce of the 1/2 and 1/2. All right, she's solid. We're going to go ahead and shake her up. That shaker's nice and cold. She's got a nice cute pink color to her too. And we're going to double strain. This martini glass is huge, and I probably could have doubled the recipe, but I'm glad I did double strain this because there's a lot coming out as far as the strawberry goes. And here she is. Okay, We got to try this. She looks stunning, and I bet she's going to be so delicious. Oh, wow. Mm. The nice part about this martini, it has that strawberry freshness from the freshly pureed strawberries. The color is rich. This tastes exactly like a chocolate covered strawberry. Let's make some cupcakes. Red velvet. Mhm. Cupcakes. All right. We need a couple of egg whites. And I do need these egg yolks separate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and beat these eggs until there's a stiff peak on them, probably about 2 to 3 minutes. So we'll see you in just a minute. Okay, as you can see, we do have some stiff peaks on here, so we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to start sifting together our cornstarch and flour, and then we'll start mixing in our other dry ingredients. All right, let's take a sip of this martini for a minute. This is a true dessert martini. All right, I'm going to add in the flour. And the cornstarch. I'm just going to make sure that these are well blended. Okay, we're going to whisk in some cocoa powder. It's 4 tablespoons, baking soda, and some salt. You can check the recipe card for the exact ingredients. And I'm just going to whisk this together, the dry ingredients. Okay, so I've added the butter to my bowl. I'm going to go ahead and whip this until it is very smooth. And then I'm going to slowly add in the sugar until they're well combined. All right, I blended the sugar and the butter. I whipped those together just for a couple of minutes. The butter does look a little piecey in here. I hope that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and add the oil in and blend that as well, and then we'll move on to the next few ingredients. But you know how I am. First, I got to have a sip. All right, let's add this oil. This is vegetable oil. Okay, we're going to add in our egg yolk and our vanilla. And we're going to give that a stir. All right, last but not least, I do have the vinegar. Just going to give her one last stir, and then we are going to do our dry ingredients and then fold in those egg whites. And then it's time to spoon the batter right into the cupcake liners and get them in for maybe 15-20 minutes, depending on your oven. So I do have some buttermilk and I do have some dry ingredients. So I'm going to end up on low, stirring in the dry ingredients and trading off with half of this buttermilk until we start with the dry ingredients and are ending with the dry ingredients. So essentially, we're talking some dry ingredient, half your buttermilk, dry ingredient, the other half of your buttermilk, and then the remaining portion of your dry ingredients. At that point, we're going to fold in with our silicone spatula those egg whites, and then we're done. We're going to put them in the oven. So I'm hoping that these are delicious. There's so many ingredients that I'm really hoping they are. I usually will go ahead and do a boxed, and we'll kind of elevate the box. But today we're doing it from scratch. So let's see how it goes. Is it worth it? I hope so. Okay, this is what we're looking at right now. I do kind of wish the color was a little bit darker, but I have a feeling that it's going to darken once it cooks. So our last and final step is going to be to fold in. We're going to go ahead and fold in these egg whites. And this is our final product. The egg whites, the peaked egg whites did have a weird consistency when I first kind of folded them in. But as I continue to just fold this batter, it did mend into a beautiful silky texture, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and spoon these into the cupcake tins, and then we're going to allow those to bake for roughly 15 to 20 minutes. I'll set them 15, check them, and then we can put them in, leave them in for a few minutes if needed. Okay, we're going to just spoon these right into the cupcake tins, half to 3/4 of the way, and then we're going to toss them in the oven. All right, so room temperature, cream cheese, a whole stick of unsweetened butter. This is actually brand new. Do need a little bit of salt. We need about 1/8 of salt. Which actually I am just going to put in just a little pinch and call it a day there. All right, I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to start adding in my confectioner sugar. Once we're done there, we're going to go ahead and split up this frosting so I can make one of them pink and one of them red, and we're going to make a beautiful final frosting for our red velvet cupcakes. All right, I'm going to be trying to do a bit of a thicker frosting here, so I'm going to end up doing 3 1/4 cups of this confectioners. That way I can make a nice tall frosting without it worrying about it melting over the sides. So I'm going to start mixing as I add this in. Okay, time to check the cupcakes. Okay, funny enough, I thought that I was filming, but I was not. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing up my other frosting here. And I'm hoping to just make it a nice faint pink, which this is exactly what it's gonna be. Okay, cupcakes are out. We're gonna let those cool for about 5 minutes. And after about 5 minutes, we're gonna take them out of the pan and allow them to cool on a rack. Allow those to cool completely. Our frosting is done, and I'm gonna get started with prepping that frosting for decorating. All right, we are here to prep this frosting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spoon this right onto some saran wrap. Do you think I need a spoon as well? Okay, and we're just gonna roll these up. And we're gonna use these in our piping bags in a little bit. But for now, we're gonna go right in our fridge. Add a little bit of frosting, and we are just gonna scoop that right on. This really is like a really hot pink, vibrant pink, but that is okay. We are rolling with it. All right. Okay, I'm just about done with this martini. It was delicious. It was a wonderful dessert, sweet cocktail. I really enjoyed it. The presentation on this, I think, is spot on. You can see the sprinkles, not sprinkles, the glitter on the glass, and the garnish is adorable as well. The little marshmallows and strawberry to accent that, chocolate covered strawberry motif. Um, but next is just really to frost those cupcakes and to add a little bit of sprinkle and garnish. I do want to add a little bit of that edible glitter on there as well. But we'll get back with you in a couple of minutes. I'm going to allow those to cool. Once we're done there, we'll start the decorating. Okay, it's time to decorate those cupcakes. Okay, we have two colored frostings. They are both cream cheese frostings. These are both going to get placed right in this Wilson piping bag. I'm going to cut the bottom of these, and then we are going to swirl these onto the cupcakes, and it's going to give a nice spiral of a couple different colors. You can do two, you can do more than two. Today we're doing pink and a darker pink. Today we're going to do a couple of Valentine's colors. Originally I was going to do red and pink, but I have hot pink and I have light pink, and I think with the red accents it's going to be adorable for Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the ends off of these bags. This is going to help with an easy cleanup on your piping bags if needed, or to replace. All right, and let's pipe on this frosting. These are going to be so cute with the hot pink and pink colors on there. I'm going to start at the back. So I'm not really getting any of this light pink. Oh, I think it's coming out now. There we go. It's just beautiful colors. Some of these are really bad. And I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle down the bottom some of these very cute sprinkles. With a very cute heart for Valentine's Day. And you have her. I want to try this. Okay. Last sip of martini, chocolate covered strawberry, and let's finally try a bite of this cupcake. This is a red velvet cupcake from scratch with some cream cheese frosting that we mixed in some color with to make this a beautiful Valentine's Day themed cupcakes. Okay, let's try it. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Wow. That is actually unbelievable. I will for sure make these again. These are fantastic. Please go and make these. Tell me what you think. Try them out. Do you like them? I think that there's no way you cannot like these cupcakes. Thank you so much for being here this week for Cocktails and Confections. We did Valentine's Day this week with the red velvet cupcake and the chocolate covered strawberry martini. Both of them were really good. The cupcakes this week, in my opinion, were better than that martini. The martini was delicious, but very sweet. These cupcakes are wow, well balanced, delicious. This frosting is fantastic. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching.